Hi everybody, welcome. It's Scarlet Pete Self-Sufficiency, and this is part 2 of knitting the Tabitha Design Tabard, or the Tabitha Tabard. This is what we're knitting. This is the design I created the other week, and I think it's rather nice, and everybody's asked me how to go about knitting it. Well, it depends what yarn you've got. I don't know what yarn you've got, so I thought I would show you the basics of creating your own pattern, like that, using whatever yarn you manage to have at home, and using a blue ruler to measure out your stitches and calculate your own pattern. So this really is you in total control, being able to write your own patterns. I'm going to show you what to do now while Lily, my daughter, takes over the camera and does the filming. The yarn I've used, well, I thought I'd do something a bit different and just put 2 strands together to make my own chunky gauge knitting. I'm using a KH 260 Brother. That is this, and I'm using one of the one colour, one of the other, mixed together going through the feeder, and that creates rather an interesting effect, don't you think? This is the effect it's created, and I do think it's rather nice. It's going to be a bit random and it'll change throughout, but let me show you what we do to work out how to write the pattern. So just a quick recap. This is the blue ruler. It's a magic ruler that tells you how many centimetres stitches, how many stitches at a certain amount of centimetres. So when you have knitted your tension swatch, which I showed you in the previous video, you take your tension ruler guide, and it has got stitches written on here, and these are the stitches going across. So we're going to measure how many stitches, and the reading it gives is 15. That is 15 stitches measure 10 centimetres, and the rows, we turn it over and use the R, the rows are 22 stitches per 10 centimetres, and that is the tension swatch. Right, so what I really need to do now is turn that into how many stitches per 1 centimetre, which is quite easy. We put a decimal point in between the two. So 22 rows to 1 centimetre to 10 centimetres becomes 2.2 rows to 1 centimetre, 1.5 stitches equals 1 centimetre. Earlier on we took the measurements of my beautiful daughter, who's going to be the model for this, and we found out that her chest is 91 centimetres, the length of the garment is 57. We've measured the back width of the neck, the depth of the neck, depth of the armhole, and the amount of drop I want on the shoulder. It's quite simple when you work it out. Now then, I just need to switch on my calculator on my device. So we know her chest measurement is 91 centimetres, but we need to add some ease. How tight do you want it, Lil? Do you want it loose or tightish?
Medium.
Medium. So we'll add, for a loose fit, we'd add 4 inches or 10 centimetres is a loose fit. Put that there so everyone can see. So for a medium fit, I would say we'll add, let's have a look what 6 centimetres looks like. Now that's 6 centimetres if you want it medium to well fitting, because it's going to be a bit stretchy anyhow. This fabric's quite a nice give to it. So we want to add 6 centimetres. So we'll round that up to 92 plus 6 for ease of maths is the chest measurement. I'm going to make 98 centimetres. So we know that's the whole width around, so we need to do half of it because we're doing a front and a back. So half of that is 45 plus 4 is 49. So the width of my jumper from side to side, including the ease, is going to be 49 centimetres. We know the length she wanted was 57. So I'm going to add a little bit of ease because when it pulls around the body, we'll add a centimetre. So we'll want that from the nape of the neck down to the base of the cuff or the welt is going to be 58 centimetres. Now the neck from front to back, let's see, the front depth here is 14 centimetres, and the width she wanted is 17. So we'll write 17 in there. And we need to know the depth from the armpit and up to the armpit. So I would like to give her a 4 centimetre drop along the shoulder so it's not too straight. So there's 4 centimetres to come off that. The length of her arm the armhole from here to here, from the top of the nape of the neck down to there, was 25. We've taken off the 4 centimetres, so let's make that a 21 centimetre from there to there. We have all our measurements now, so all we need now is to switch on our calculator that I've just freshly downloaded on my iPad, hopefully. Where is it? Let's have a look.
Action.
So we'll start with how many stitches firstly. So we know the width of the garment is going to be 49 centimetres on the one panel. So we need to do 49 centimetres times by 1.5 stitches. That's equal to 73. So we'll call it 74. 74 stitches. Half of 74, divide it by 2, is 37. So that tells us we need 37 stitches cast on. Let's do this in black. 37 stitches. Each side of our centre 0 point is our cast on. Next, let's check out the width of the back of the neck, because we're doing the stitches for now. So the back of the neck, she wanted it 17 centimetres wide, times by 1.5 stitches equals 81. So that seems rather a lot. 81. Let me just double check that. 17 times by 1.5 equals 25. I thought I'd done a little mistake there. 25.5. So we'll call it 26. So that gives us 13 stitches either side of the back of her neck. Is going to be the final width of the neckline. Now then, the depth, let's see, that's everything. And we put that here. So this is the neck, exploded neck. That's good, isn't it? Exploded neckband. That's the center point. So going back to this, so we're going to cast on 37 stitches and we will knit. Did you like the depth of the rib before? How deep would you like your rib? Let's see. Should we do it? 15 rows of rib. So we'll knit 15 rows of rib, because I think that's quite a fair amount, 15 rows. Then we transfer all of the stitches up, but this design here, if you look here, this is my design for the garment itself. It's going to have 4 of the 1 by 1. It's a 1 by 1 rib, so let's put 1 by 1. 4 needles at the bottom, 4 of the 1 by 1 bits, so that will be 1 back here, 1 back here, 1 back here. I want to leave those in pattern, so along the side here we have a small piece of ribbing going the length of the garment. So when we transfer all the stitches up here, transfer, we will leave this pattern of 4 either side left in work on the ribber, and we will leave the ribber connected and we will knit it as a rib. Right, now then we know everything we want. Now we want to know how deep. So let's have a look. She wanted it 58 centimetres. So back to the calculator, 58 centimetres times by our row measurement for 1 centimetre is 2.2. So we go 2.2 equals, let's just double check that, 51 centimetres times 2.2 equals 112 rows. So the total at the end of the nape of the neck is 112 rows. Now I know I want a 4 centimetre difference, the slope here. So let's just do 4 times 2.2 equals 9 rows. So we'll call it 10. So we'll stop knitting and start the shoulder decreases at row 102. Depth from the nape of the neck to the neck starting 14 centimetres. So once again, 14 times 2.2 equals, this is 30 rows. The depth of this is 30 rows. So I'm going to write down here 30 rows of neckband. You see, in neck from there to there. So we go to the exploded version, 102, that's the shoulder shaping, we'll talk about that there. And we need 30 rows, so we want 112 minus 30 rows equals 82. So we now know on row 82, this is the point the neck begins, neck shape. That's that. 21 centimetres down from row 102, she wants the armpit. So let's work out what 21 centimetres times 2.2 rows is 46. So we know now that from the point of her shoulder down to the armpit is 46 rows. So the point of the shoulder was 102. Take away 46. Oops, I made a mistake. 100. What was it? 102. Take away 46 equals 56. So row 56, we're going to marking here either side. So we know when we're stitching it up, we're going to stitch up this piece only and leave this little piece open. Now, the neck shaping. So we now know we're going to cast on 37 rows. We're going to knit 15 rows rib at tension dial, maybe 2-2. We'll see. Tension, TD. Tension dial, 2-2. Then we put the row counter back to 0 after transferring our stitches, leaving 4 in work and leaving the ribber connected. And we will knit over those 37 stitches each side at our tension dial 8 up to row 56. On row 56 we put a yarn in each side and mark so we know our stitching up point. We continue knitting the back until we get to row 102 where we start our shoulder shaping. Now then, I need to know how many stitches to do the shoulder are from here to here. So let's work that out. 37 stitches we know we started with, and we're going to take away 13 stitches, which leaves us a total of 24 stitches to get rid of in, how many rows did I say? 10. So let's put a little note down here. We've got 10 stitches, no, sorry, 24 stitches minus 24 stitches in 10 rows. So I'm just going to divide that up. We'll do 24 divided by 5 equals 5 nearly. So what I will do is put into holding position. So for the shoulder shape, minus 5 stitches, knit 2 times 5. Now on one of them it's going to be less at the end, so we're going to have 5, 10, 15, 20 and 4. 5, 10, 15, 20 and 4. Yeah, that will be right. So just to recap, on row 102 we're going to put 5 stitches into holding position, so we're going to do holding position shaping. 5 stitches, knit 2 rows, 5 stitches, knit 2 rows, 5 stitches, knit 2 rows, and on the last one we'll be left with 4, and that will give us a nice shape in holding position, and I will show you how to do that. Let's get on with this neckband. Now then, to do the neck, I like to work in 3s around a neck. So we know we're getting rid of 24 stitches, no, sorry, 26 stitches. So let's straight away start by dividing 26 by 3. That's about 8.6 stitches. So in the beginning, I am going to take away on the first bit here 8. Let's put 8 stitches, so that's 4 each side. We're going to go into holding position here. So first on row 82, so 4 each side of center, waste yarn. Next, we've got another 8 to remove here, I think. Let's see. Yes, so 4. What we're going to do is take them off quite steeply firstly. So we'll go minus 3, knit 2. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. Minus 3, knit 2. 7, 8, 9, 10. That's looking good. So that leaves us, that's this piece done. So we've got a sharp decrease here. 3 and 3 have gone. That's going to leave us, what did I get to? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 stitches to remove. So then we're going to do minus 1 stitch, knit 4. minus 1 stitch, knit 4. Let's just check how many rows we're getting rid of here, because we've got 30 rows. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. This is good. So minus 1 stitch, knit 4. So there we go. That is my neck shaping. So let me write that clearer for you. In the center on row 82, we're going to take away 4 each side. On row 80, let's see, next one 83, we're going to minus 3, knit 2, and we're going to do that 2 times. Let's see, we're going to knit 2 there. Take away that bit. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we're going to go minus 1, knit 4, 1, 2, 3 times, times 3. And that will remove 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 stitches. That is a total of minus 13 in total. Once we've finished that, we're going to continue knitting to row 102, which is where the shoulder starts. Knit 2, row counter 102, and shape shoulder. Right, let me just go through this with my little head. We'll put it on pause and I'll check I've done it correct for you. So I've tried to write it a little clearer for you. I hope you get the gist of what I was explaining. Lily, did it sound understandable?
No.
Oh, good.
Not in the slightest.
Not in the slightest. Well, please comment and let me know if you understand what I'm suggesting. So what the pattern is that I've now ended up with is cast on 37 stitches, and I knit my rib, which I've chosen to be 15 rows. A 1 by 1 rib at tension dial 2-2. My row counter will go back to 0, and we will put that on tension 8. I'm going to knit 56 rows, and I'm going to mark each side so I know where the shoulders, where the armpits are. And if I'm knitting the back, I knit straight to row counter 102, where I start my shoulder shaping, which is minus 5, knit 2 4 times, then minus 4, knit 2 once, and that's the end. And now this piece here will be in holding position or cast off, whichever chosen method you choose. That I will put onto waste yarn. Then this piece here will go onto waste yarn separately, and this piece here will go onto waste yarn, but that will be explained more in detail as we knit it. I've written the shoulders here clearly for you to see what to do. Row counter 102 is the start, minus 5, knit 2 4 times, minus 4, knit 2, and throw it off onto waste yarn. The neck shaping. I choose a mixture of holding position, waste yarn, and decreases to do my necks to get the perfect neckline. So I will explain more when we're doing that neck. We'll probably do a whole video on that. So let me just do a quick show of what I've done with my maths. On row 82, that's after marking row 56 up here for the side, we knit to row 82 and jump down to look at the shaping. Each side of the center, that's what that 0 with a line through is saying, we're going to take 4 stitches each side of 0, and we're putting them into holding position. Then we're going to do knit 2 rows. We're going to do 3 into holding position, knit 2 rows, 3 into holding position, knit 2 rows. Then we're going to take away 1 and knit 4 rows, and we'll do that 3 times. Now there's a little more to it than that. As you know, holding position, you have to do it slightly different to that to make it happen, but I'll show you that when we get there. Once we've done that, we're going to knit to the shoulder point at row 102, and we're going to go back up to here, the center, and follow the shaping for the shoulder. And once we've done the shoulder with holding position, that piece will come off onto waste yarn. Then we will put that to one side. All of this here will be knitted off onto waste yarn. And we will do exactly the same that we've just done here on the opposite side. It all sounds rather complicated, I'm sure, but this is how you write a pattern. Start really basic and come along with me on the journey. I will show you how it's done. This is part 2 of how to create Tabitha Tabard. And let's just have another little look at what she looks like. My own design of how to do a simple starter jumper without sleeves, simple stitching up, 4 buttons on the side on each side, making it look nice. Nice bit of ease, a good thick neckline. I haven't written about doing the neckline in here. We will do that. This is the yarn we're doing. Instead of that variegated lovely brown, we're going to do strange stripy cream and brown. Hope this helps you. Join me for part 3, where we actually get to do the knitting, get the pattern happening using a ribber or whatever you've got to do it with. Join me soon. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, give me a comment so I know you're there. And if I've confused you, let me know. If I've made it simple, let me know. Tell me, can you follow what I've done? Speak to you soon. Lots of love. Bye bye.